On this episode of Gun Talk Hunt, we come to you from Wyoming. We're on a prairie dog hunt, and I've got Brian Wood, a.k.a. HarleyWood, in the hot seat.
Hey, I'm KJ, dedicated lifelong hunter here. If you got an interest in all things hunting, you're in the right spot. Whether chasing quail across the plains of Oklahoma or in pursuit of elk in the backcountry of British Columbia, you'll always find me on the hunt.
All right, this episode of Gun Talk Hunt is brought to you by Range Ready Studios, Ruger, and Timney Triggers. All right, welcome in, Gun Talk Hunters. I'm your host, KJ, and with me is Brian, HarleyWood himself.
What's up, buddy?
Dude, we have been on so many trips.
I was for a while there, I thought we were friends, and then so long went by that you didn't invite me on the podcast. I started to question it. I was like, I don't even know now.
Dude, I will tell you, we've got guys coming into camp, and I'm sorry. We've got Benny coming into camp. I want to know if he found his drone.
It's up there.
All right, he did not find his drone.
It's up there.
It's way up the mountain. You did not find it.
It was the point of commit or turn around.
Come on, Benny, get in here. Get in the camera. Right.
Too smart.
Right here. All right, this is Benny.
Big face right here. Made it to the timber.
So, this is Benny. If you guys are listening, guys may jump in and out of this. I hope you can hear them, catch them off our mics. But Benny is with Buck Commander. He is a video editor, videographer. He documents everything. And he lost a drone.
Yeah. Got some great flights on this trip. I mean, some awesome stuff, and got a little greedy with it. Trying to just buzz the peaks, and then the screen just Irish goodbye on me. And next
I'm
thing
sorry.
I know, down she goes.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I didn't like that drone much anyway.
But you did. Like, it's a Franken drone. Like, he can fly it. He's ridiculous on the camera and on the gun. Because the dude can shoot.
Man.
And he's got good taste in music, so.
Yeah, right back at you. Yeah, it was fun riding in your rig and listening to some good tunes.
Yeah.
Box did.
Well, I mean, Box had good tunes?
Yeah.
Usually he
Oh,
doesn't.
wait a minute.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The whole time I rode with Box, nothing played. We didn't have no music. It was just good conversation. We just relied on conversation. That just tells me he didn't enjoy talking to
I
you.
guess not. I guess we didn't have much to say. Or just drowning out Tombo, probably. You know?
There you go. That's it.
But yeah, you can find, Benny, where can they find you? Because you're going to be in and out. And
Come watch Buck Commander.
yeah.
You'll see me there on occasion. Might drop a big buck this season.
Do you? What'd you draw?
Pretty good buck in Missouri. You might be on our show this season.
Well,
in November.
There's a hint.
Yeah,
Like, it's
but
called
YouTube.
a clue.
We're on YouTube.
It's called a clue. But yeah, YouTube, Buck Commander.
Yeah.
That you guys do some awesome stuff. Like Tombo, you guys, true professionals. Like when I think of people who truly enjoy what they do, like you two
You can
immediately
tell.
come to mind.
You
Because they
can
have so
tell.
much fun.
Dude,
Well, I think fun's the word. We're certainly not the DIY or the how-to guys. We'll show you how to have fun. We won't show you how to do the thing right.
Yeah.
But we'll show you how to
get
have a
it
good
done.
time doing it.
And how to
yeah. We'll get it done eventually.
there's one way to get it done.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, dude.
Yeah, guys.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some supper. Was it good?
Yes, sir.
It was
All
excellent.
right.
Yeah,
They
as always.
saved a plate for me.
I know
Right,
they
Benny.
did.
Catch y'all in
They
there.
did. Oh, absolutely. We'll see it. All right, Benny from Buck Commander, and so give the audience a little idea of like where we're at, what we're doing.
If they could see what we're seeing past the camera right now, this is one of the most amazing views that I have ever seen. So we're in Wyoming, right?
Right.
We're about an hour north of Laramie. Okay.
Yes.
And I think it's Casper, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the closest one, but I think here is Hannah.
Hannah. Okay.
Right.
We are on a 560,000 acre private ranch. We have been hunting prairie dogs for the past 3 days. This is my first time hunting prairie dogs. I've been
Jeez.
hunting for years. I've hunted a lot of different things. And every type of animal you hunt has its own draw, right? Its
Yeah.
own allure. This is probably the most fun I've ever had.
Really?
This is so much fun.
So what's the draw for you? I mean, is it the quantity?
Okay, there's something primal about it to some degree, like a camaraderie.
I know where you're going with
Camaraderie is a
this.
big part of it. We'll get to that. But for me, like, squirrel hunting's just fun, man.
Yeah.
You've been doing it since you were a kid,
Yeah.
right? So if you were a kid popping squirrels anywhere in the national forest or wherever you used to do it, This is like squirrels on steroids, and like
That's a fair point.
and it never ends. Every bend you drive around, there's 50 more.
Yeah, and what's great about it is that it's social. Like we were gonna eat each other crap at dinner tonight, and then in the road, like, oh, you missed. Oh, hey, I know. Hey,
look,
it happens.
You guys can DM me if you want to see all of his misses. I got him. I got him.
It's there, and I dude, I don't hit everything. Like, it's just the fact of the matter. But it's so much fun because there is an added pressure. There's an added pressure to just shooting in front of everybody. And you had just gotten back from a long range course, and you were dialed in this week.
Man,
I mean, you were just absolutely dialed in. You knew your gun, you knew your ammunition, and it just seemed like you almost never missed. I can't say you never missed because that happens, because we're battling like 20 to 40 mile an hour gusts.
Yesterday was 50 mile an hour gusts.
Yeah.
Like we were on these ridge tops. 15 was probably the low mile per hour on some of these.
I would say it is.
And every once in a while it would just
and then we would have like these like wicked crosswinds kind of going on, where it was like, okay, you're shooting across like a draw or a little creek crossing or something like that, and you're shooting across it. Well, and when you're inside like 50 yards, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But when you start getting out to 150, 200 yards, like, then all of a sudden you're going, wait, where should my holds be?
We took some shots well outside of 200.
Oh, yeah.
Day one especially, right?
Yeah.
Got a little more challenging yesterday, especially with the winds. But day one, we were touching 300 a few times.
Oh, easy 300.
And with a 223, I mean, there were some other calibers going on, but with a 223, 15 to 20 mile an hour winds shooting out to 300 yards, you got to be dialed in.
It's challenging. You've got to know where you're hitting. But we're out here, courtesy of Caldwell.
Yes.
And Box, a good buddy of ours. He's been on the channel. So there's a couple like things that we kind of tested out here. We took a little time on the long range and we shot long range. I have to tell you a story. So we went out the long range and we go out there and we're gonna put the flashbangs, which is their new product. It's like $25, $29. And it's a target hit indicator, right?
Yep.
And
a visual target hit indicator.
Yes, a visual. It lights up green. It's like boom, boom, and you can really tell where you hit. Well, so we're going out and putting these things up. Well, we get the 500 dry ground. They've had a lot of rain here, so dry ground. We get the first one put up. All right, let's go out to 800. We start going. I'm driving, and then all of a sudden, it gets a little dicey going to the target, and we're like, oh, we cannot go to the 1,000 yard, which we want to do, because that's one of the good things about a hit indicator, is that you can visually see it before you can hear it a lot of times. Yep. Especially in high winds.
That's what I was just going to say. Sometimes in that high wind, you don't even get the ping of the steel.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, no.
So that visual indicator is so important. And that bright green, it was amazing how far we could see that thing.
With the naked eye.
With the naked eye, yeah. No,
you didn't have to be on a spotter. You didn't. The bugs are killing me.
Yeah, they're coming out.
Are you kidding me?
They're coming out.
Well, we're next to a little creek and pond. If you guys hear it, it is amazing. But so we get there, and we barely make it to the 800. And we're getting back in, and I've got Benny with me. I think it's just Benny.
The Box was with you.
Tombo and Box. And so we go down there, and we're putting these things on the 800, the flashbang from Caldwell. And then we go back, and they're like freaking out, because it's getting Western in the old rental, like the old Denali rental.
Well, you haven't really elaborated on why. It's okay. You teased it. There was a lot of rain.
There was a lot of rain.
The ground here is deceptive, man. We could get into what happened today, right?
We will in like the second portion of this, because that is a story.
Deceptive. It just looks like this beautiful green grass, and all of a sudden,
and it sinks.
Yeah.
Like if you aren't hyper aware of like where it's coming off and what you're dealing with, like it is. You're right.
And here's the thing, right. Like in Georgia, I'm from Georgia. In Georgia, I know what to watch for, right? Out here, the landscape's not Georgia, right? It's different.
Right.
And so I don't necessarily know that just because the grass is a little bit brighter over there, that means it's a freaking swamp.
Oh gosh. Yeah. And you might think, you might not. But so anyway, so I'm coming back, and I'm Tokyo drifting this Denali
they're screaming at you
in an open field. Yes. How'd you know that?
Because you told us, man.
Dude, They're screaming at me, don't hit the puddle. There is a giant. Like, if I would have hit it, y'all would have been coming and fishing us out.
That's all right. We got you.
But it was like, 15 foot by 15 foot, like water hole. And I'm headed right toward it. Dude.
And then traction caught.
And I was out. Thank goodness. But that's...
Tell them what you were driving, man.
Dude, I was driving a like GMC Yukon Denali, like
Bougie.
brand new.
Bougie. You guys don't know, this guy's a bougie hunter.
That's what they gave me. But I did have the option of a new Tundra, and I opted not to have that because it didn't have a cap on it, because I was like, well, man, it's raining right now, and I was like, just give me the Denali. It was awesome. Like, I'm the only one that didn't get stuck.
You're the only one that didn't get stuck in your bougie Denali this week.
I'm just saying, I didn't get stuck.
And you pulled the other guys out who did get stuck.
He is right. Brian is right.
We got some drone footage somewhere. It'll be on Buck Commander, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be on Buck Commander for sure. I got a little bit of it, but I didn't get the whole, like, me trying to pull box out in his F-250 trimmer diesel.
Buried to the axles.
Yes.
Well, so we got ours stuck first. We were in an expedition.
All right.
They're all four-wheel drive. Okay.
Hold on a second. We are going to cut right here, because on the other end of this, Brian Wood of HarleyWood, real quick, on this side of the break, if people I don't know why you guys cut out, give them where they can learn more about HarleyWood.
Yeah, so YouTube's my primary location. The handle is HarleyWood23 on YouTube. On Instagram, it's HarleyWood2A. It's also HarleyWood23 on Facebook. Most of the content, the long-form content, happens on YouTube. Instagram and Facebook's just where I tease stuff that's about to hit the main channel.
Perfect. It's awesome. You guys got to check it out. But on the other side of this break...
You want to hear this story?
KJ saves the day.
He did.
All right, we'd love to thank our sponsors and Range Ready Studios. If you think you're a good shooter, I want you to take training classes. And let's just talk a second about training. Training is not your concealed carry course. I'm sorry, that is a class. That is a course. That is not training. Someone is not teaching you how to better yourself and become more efficient with your handgun. That's not what that class is about. We need training. All of us need training. I am in my 3rd or 4th class here at Range Ready Studios, and I'm going to tell you what, it has changed how I think about the shots I take. So find out more at Range Ready Studios to sign up. All right, Ruger. Okay, since we're talking about prairie dog hunting, I'm going to just go ahead and say one of the highlights of the week has been shooting a Ruger Mark IV. And if I had a rifle in a 22 caliber, like a Ruger 1022, it would be amazing. All right, so I'm going to suggest the Silent SR ISB. That's integrally suppressed barrel for your 1022. It is a sweetheart. It's quiet. It's easy to clean, but it fits on all 1022 takedowns. So you can change it out and be suppressed all day long. And if you're shooting prairie dogs or shooting a lot of rounds, you're going to need that. Find out more at Ruger.com. And Timney Triggers. Timney Triggers makes triggers for just about everything since 1946. So they know what they're doing, and they make it easy for you because you don't have to be a gunsmith. I've got them in a bunch of my rifles, and I love to use them. In fact, I was using a Timney Triggers on the prairie dog hunt. So that is nice to have because it's a crisp, clean break. And they also make one for the Tikka T3, very popular out there amongst you hunters. But if you're looking for it, $249. I mean, come on. You can't beat that. It instantly makes you a better hunter because you know exactly when that trigger is going to break, and it's going to be crisp, clean, and on the money. So find out more at timneytriggers.com.
All right, we're back, Gun Talk Hunters, and if you listen to the first part, you're going to want to hear this. But I'm with Brian Wood of HarleyWood 2A, HarleyWood 23. Find a lot of stuff on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. All right, so the final day of hunting prairie dogs, and it has been a slaughter fest.
Dude, hundreds per day.
Hundreds.
And
we're not even making a dent.
No. You're on 560,000 acres. You can't even access 2% of this place, right? And we're doing a service, honestly, for the ranch here. These things are incredibly destructive to the prairies out here.
They're invasive.
Yeah.
Much so, if you're looking for a hunting adventure, you can hunt public land. You can do it without a license. So just saying, like it's good. So we've got bugs flying everywhere, guys. I'm sorry, but all right. The final day. I'll set the scene for you. So we're sitting here and so how the process works is we all hunt together, but we hunt separate.
We leapfrog each other.
We'll leapfrog, exactly. That's the best way to put it. We leapfrog each other to the next like kind of dog town, if you will, because where we're at, it's not like a dog town and you're shooting 200 prairie dogs in one sitting. You're not setting up for half a day. You are finding little clusters is what you do. And so you'll find a cluster, you're like, okay, there's quite a few here, we can have a good time. You'll set up 30, 45 minutes, something like that. Well, Jared Grove of Caldwell, we're hunting together and we're leapfrogging, and all of a sudden we look around and we go, where's HarleyWood? Like we look around and you guys are nowhere to be found.
We were so far away.
I mean, you guys, I don't know, and we were like driving, so you dropped us a pin and we were coming to you guys and we were driving through all these dog towns. I'm like, why aren't they here?
I'm telling you, the suspension on that expedition is shot out. Like, it's a rental, so what? But
so
we drove through some
gnarly stuff.
Yeah.
But so we're making our way to you, and we had gotten word that they were stuck.
That's an understatement.
I use the word, like, it is an understatement because I'm using air quotes right now. Stuck. They weren't moving. They were cemented into the fabric of Wyoming.
The floorboards were under the mud.
Yes.
Like on this
It
expedition.
was incredible.
Yeah.
And so we get
I was not driving. Can we start with
now,
this?
I will tell you who is driving. Brandon Maddox of Silencer Central was driving, but I think he and Hootie Hoo
were in the front seat.
Deep conversation, and they just didn't realize how close they had gotten to this creek.
Yeah. It was
one of those blind spots where it's like, oh, this is sand. Oh no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like
Done.
quicksand.
Done.
Jeez.
So we all get out. This thing's buried to the axles. It's 4-wheel drive also, but it was going nowhere.
Oh, it's going nowhere.
It's got these pretty Boy City tires on it, and it was going nowhere.
I love that you say that.
I dropped KJ a pin. I dropped Box a pin, and I was like, "You guys got to come get us out of this."
Boy, here comes the cavalry.
So they come up over these berms, and we're all out of the vehicle, and I'm like, "We're over here. We're over here." So Box comes driving up in the big F-250 with 35s on it. He turns that thing around backwards. He starts backing up to us. I'm like, Box, you need to be over this way. You need to be over this way.
You were the one voice. I will say this. HarleyWood was one of the voices of reason through this whole thing because he's very calm. He's very collected, and he's been through it because they've got a vehicle stuck, so he knows like this white sand mud.
Yeah.
Like he was like, stay away from that. What
Box
happens?
backs right up into it, and probably buries his deeper than we were buried.
Oh yeah,
it was bad.
And me being me, I'm seeing this from afar in the Denali.
From 100 yards away up on the berm.
Yep, up way up on the hillside, and I'm looking at it going, I'm not going down there.
You literally said that. Yeah. Box said, KJ, bring the Denali down here. KJ goes, I'm not going down there.
Yeah. I was so close to charging rides. I was
back to the ranch?
Yes, back to the ranch. Hey, $200 per ride, and you can have a ranch back. You're gonna ride back to the ranch in the Denali. I think I would have paid off the ride.
You would have paid off your next hunting trip, that's for sure.
I would have. But so we go down there, and I will say this: Box is one of the most prepared individuals that I have ever met because he does this in his free time.
Yeah.
He goes to Moab and he goes rock climbing with these just abnormal
tricked out Jeeps.
Yeah, tricked out Jeeps. So thank goodness he was prepared because he had toe straps. He had all this stuff, but he buried his. And now I'm going, man, I'm gonna have to drive the Denali and attempt
to get this heavy ass 250 out of here.
That's what I was gonna have to do. And so now I'm just like, I'm stressing because one, I don't want to let box down, because if I let box down,
well, then
I feel
all
like
three
I
of us are
failed.
stuck. I don't know. We got to call helicopters at that point.
Yeah.
But in KJ's defense, he listened to me, and he backed the Denali down in the right spot, and we hooked up to the F-250. And you had to snatch it, what, 2, 3, 4 times?
Okay, that's on me. I may have only had to do it once, but
Snatch might be a little aggressive for the first 2 attempts.
and that's what I thought, because Box was telling me, and that I don't recover a lot of vehicles, because if I see danger, I don't go towards danger. Like Box just barrels it right in, and he buried it. And so now I've got to pull Box out, and I'm sitting there going like, well, shit, like I can't risk losing the tow strap by snatching it too fast, and I can't risk me getting stuck. But you had backed me into a spot where it was like, it was good. So I'm sitting here and I'm backing it up, and then I'm going and I'm like snatching it real quick, and like, man, I don't move him.
But
And
it's
I'm
like an 18-inch snatch,
gosh.
right? So he backs
Yeah.
up 18 inches.
Yeah.
Well, and it was kind of an angle too. So if this is
It
the
was.
F-250, KJ's up here like this, snatching this way, trying to pull
get
Box up out of this thing, because if you would back straight up to him, you were in it also.
Oh, I was in it, and so we're trying to like work through it. Finally, I mean, it was probably my 5th, 6th time, like trying to like get the feel of it. Because again, I don't do this, and Box is like, send it, and I'm like,
He's like, effing send it.
yeah. I mean, like he's getting.
So you
on
got
to
a
me.
good 4-foot snatch on that last one.
I did, and that's what really got him out. And then, so now the F-250's out. Now the Denali is out of play. Like we are like,
take your
the
bougie
100 yards.
ride back up on the hill, go watch from the bleachers while the men do the work.
and I'm cool with that. Like I did my job. I saved the day.
You did.
Like in the end, KJ
He had his
saved the
seat,
day.
air conditioners on
Yes.
at the whole
I
man.
totally did. And he was sitting there going, "Can you turn 4 low on it?" I'm like, "I don't know where it is." and he comes over there and is like, "Here, put it in neutral." And I'm like, "Okay, I got that." Now I'm like trying to get the traction control off, because I want to like really get it good.
All right, so the F-250's out.
Yes, F-250's out.
Now back to the original mission.
And now Box is like, okay, I should listen to Brian. And Brian says, go right here. What does Box do? He pulls straight into that spot. And hooking on, okay, I will say this. Hooking on was a little dicey because it was at an angle. It was at a side
good
angle. I mean, it was hard angle.
This
It was
time,
like
all right, so
perpendicular.
if this is the Expedition like this, Box is like over here.
Yeah.
Right? And so we've got this tow strap running like this from the F-250.
That was awful.
And you got to snatch this thing out at an angle.
I don't know how he did it so beautifully. But so I will say this. Everybody's looking around and someone says, who's going to drive the Expedition? Everyone looks around and goes, and here comes HarleyWood.
I'm like, give me the keys.
Dude, Brian, he steps up and he
Give me the
goes,
keys.
I'll do this.
I took my tennis shoes. They're all still
gosh,
muddy.
They're still muddy. They're still just nasty. And so, man, you
Dude,
jumped
there's
in
a
there.
squirrel right there on the
Oh
counter.
my
See
gosh!
him?
Like it almost looks
Man,
like
if that was a prairie dog.
I'd miss it.
You probably. I was just gonna say that. All right.
So anyway, so sure enough, like on the first go, man, he just guns it, and whoa! And here that Expedition jerks left, and man, he pulls it out. He didn't stop.
No, you got to stay on that.
Boy, he gunned it, and man, it was. You said something pop. I tend to believe you.
I hope Hertz is not watching this because
Oh my gosh,
something's broken under
Something's
there.
broken in there.
All right, but
but
then let's talk about the ride back to go get gas.
oh my gosh.
So we get them out.
We
right?
get them out, and we make our way through the fields, and we're hunting all private land,
Yeah.
and so we can drive across the fields and everything.
Yeah.
So we're driving across, and we get out to the highway, close the gate, get out the highway, and so Box is leading, Brandon's in the middle.
The one that was stuck in the. Look at this guy.
The squirrel's running right
Suicide
in
mission.
next to us. So it's Brandon, and then it's me in the back, in the Denali. Bougie. So I'm sitting there, and we're going down the highway, and
70
I'm like,
mile per hour highway.
yeah, 70 miles.
Speed limit.
Yep. And we've got about 30 miles or so before we gotta get gas. And so we're sitting there, and I'm like driving. I'm like, what the heck? What are these guys doing? I was like, they are driving 40 miles an hour
Yes.
on a 70-mile-an-hour road. I was like, something's wrong. So I call Box. I say, hey, Box.
Do you know it?
You do know you're going 40 miles an hour, right? And he goes,
On a 70.
all the wheels were buried.
Full of mud.
Full of mud. And he's going, I'm getting the death rattle, man. I can't get this thing over 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's fair. So
It was bad.
whoa, I take off. I leave him.
He blows by both of us.
And then you guys
Same
passed
thing.
Box.
Well, so we passed him, but on the way by, like, I swear my fillings came out because we had the same problem. We
Yeah.
were buried also, and so our wheels are full of mud. So you get up to 60 miles an hour, and it's just
Yeah.
It was horrible. It's horrible.
Dude, I'm telling you, like it. And this whole trip for me has been like one thing after another, and I should have expected this on the last day to like have to take out his time and pull people out and save the day and everything else, because my like half my guns and like 3/4 of my equipment didn't show up.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
We
like,
made it happen, man.
Oh, we made it happen. It was one of the more fun times, and I think this is one of those hunts. It's like duck hunting. It's like squirrel hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I think like it's so social, and you create such a bond with everybody that, man, like you just give everybody hell. Like it's just so much fun. We've got Hootie Hoo in camp. We've got you, Tombo, which
He's a
is
riot.
like Buck Commander. We got Benny. Benny's, man, he's such an like old soul, just a great
Here's what
dude.
I've done a bunch. I've done duck hunting. I've done deer hunting. I've done elk. All that. You know, deer hunting. I almost call it a solo sport, right? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Unless you're spot and stalking with another guy, but for the most part in Georgia, you're blind hunting,
Yeah.
right? And duck hunting is another level because the camaraderie
Yep.
is there, all of the banter
Yeah.
is there, all of the talking is there. This is very similar to that,
Yeah.
but I feel like the kill count was so much higher.
Oh my
this
gosh,
was just,
it absolutely was.
this was ridiculous.
And you'd sit there and you'd like call you got to a point where you could call your shot. Like when you had the wind dialed in and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and there was like dogs in the same area, you could call your shot. So you're trying to flip them. You're trying to like.
We started scoring each other.
Yes.
We started doing a rating scale on the flips
It's so
of the
morbid.
prairie dogs.
It's so morbid. You still have the highest score that I gave
I don't know,
this week.
Would you give me an 8.5 on
I
one of
gave
them?
you an
something like
8.5
that?
on one,
Look,
and that was the highest score.
I'm gonna tell you. So you weren't with me in box on day one.
Yeah?
On day one, I had some solid 11s, bro.
Really?
Dude, we had some good ones, man.
No
box,
kidding.
I've got some footage, man. It'll be on my channel in a week or so. But I've got some footage where Box and I literally bust out laughing because you just
kidding.
can't not, right? Like
Yeah.
you hit one of these things, and I know it sounds kind of morbid, but these are pests, they're varmints. We're doing a service here.
Yeah.
But you hit these things and it's just
They fly.
yeah.
They absolutely fly.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah. Well, what's up next for you?
Man, I've been traveling a lot, so
Yeah.
I got to chill for
Oh,
a
yeah.
minute. The wife would probably appreciate me being at
She
home
will.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
I was
Mine's the
at,
same way.
yeah, I was at Gunsite a few weeks ago. I was at Barber Creek last week. I'm here this week, so I got to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, so just to give you a little bit about my channel,
Yeah.
I do a lot of firearms related content. In the past, I've done a wide variety
Yeah.
of stuff. I'm going to start narrowing that focus and just focusing more on just firearms
Yeah.
related content.
Yeah.
So I can.
I
be a-
enjoy your channel because it's honest. It's a lot like Adam with Hootie Hoo.
Yeah.
Like it's honest, or like if you're it's not. I don't view what you do as like, all right, this is why you need to buy this product. It's not overly saturated with like. I don't want to say review because you do review, like you give an honest review though. It's not paid. It's not forced.
But it's based off of experience. So like Vortex sent me some scopes
Yeah.
for this trip, right? And you and I were on this ridge today, and the wind blew my tripod over with
Yes.
the rifle and
Yep.
the scope, and it hit hard,
Yeah.
man, on this rocky ground. And what did we do? We pulled it back up, and we got on a white rock
Verified.
out there at like 75 yards. And sighted it back in, and man, and so that's the kind of
Dialed.
feedback. Yeah, that's the kind of feedback that I got to give in a
Yeah.
review. Is look, this thing took a hard hit. It fell over hard,
Yeah.
and it still held zero.
Yeah, and it's
So-
all good stuff. So you guys go check out HarleyWood 23 YouTube, Facebook, and HarleyWood 2A
On Instagram.
on Instagram. So give him a look. I think you guys are gonna love what you see. But Man, thanks for being on.
I appreciate you finally being my friend, man, and invite me into your life, bro.
Dude, anytime you want to come on and just talk, I'm here for you. We can make a therapy
We've been on a
session
bunch
out
of fun. Every time I get invited to one of these things, and I find out, in fact, on this one, Box invited me, and he told me you were coming, and I immediately texted you.
No,
I immediately texted KJ, and I said, hey, just in all fairness, Box told me you might need a little bit of help shooting these prairie dogs, so he invited me to come.
Yes.
And KJ's like, oh, shit.
I was like, yep, that's fair game.
But there's a few guys that when you find out they're coming on a trip with you,
it's you know it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, you know it's gonna be a good time.
And you're one of those, man. It's one of those times that, like, you look forward to hanging out with friends, and you know, we don't get enough time together throughout the entire year, so it's always great to have you on, man.
Yeah,
like anytime.
There are a few people that you go on these trips with that are in the industry that you wouldn't necessarily want to hang out at deer camp with.
Dude, I would hang out with you on a Wednesday night.
On a Wednesday night in Laramie.
Yes.
At JB's Quickie Stop or whatever that thing was called.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, all right, Gun Talk hunters, you know the drill. Keep those muzzles pointed in a safe direction and always be on the hunt.